Super Rugby quarterfinal number 3, folks. The Crusaders and the Drua. And yeah, this one went pretty much according to the script, albeit with a bit of an injury toll for the Crusaders. So yeah, we'll go through some key events and stats. We can probably keep this one pretty quick because it was pretty lopsided. But yeah, as always, you guys let us know your thoughts. 49-8. She's a real hiding. I was glad to see there was like a boatload of Fiji, I think it was a plane load of Fijian fans down there in brisk Christchurch. It was pretty cold, but they had some good vocal support, the Drua, but that's about as good as the story went, sadly. Ominous start, man. They go for a short kickoff, and it doesn't go 10 metres, the Drua, so they're basically on the back foot early. That leads to a scrum. About a minute later, the Crusaders are down the Drua end, and Ollie Jager is going over for a try. All from kind of a Drua poor exit. Kick return from Braydon Ennor with a big carry. Jager on his return powers over 7-0. Later, Drua concede a penalty at the breakdown. Codie Taylor goes over for a maul try. So the penalty leads to a line out, leads to a maul, leads to a try. 14-0. We're only like 5 minutes into the game, man. The Crusaders scrum was getting all kinds of dominance. Scrum penalty leads to a maul, leads to Taylor's second try. TMO checked the grounding, but we're all good. We are 21-0 after about 15 minutes, and I'm pretty much already not invested in the game, sadly. I was really hoping that it would be a contest, but nah, man. I mean, Leicester Fainga'anuku looked to have gone over after about 18 Crusaders faces. Their dominance up front was just huge, but they chalked it off for a knock-on in the build-up. The Drua, interestingly, took a penalty on 23 minutes when they did actually finally have some ball. It was a weird choice when you're 21-3 down. It was almost like they were just trying not to get nilled. But yeah, 21-3. Glad the ref mentioned to the Crusaders guys, you need to watch the infringing when you're under advantage, like when the opposition's got advantage. Because I do feel like some teams use the advantages. Well, we're already conceding a penalty. We just kill it now so they don't get a chance to kind of have a all or nothing play. But that's BS. I would rather, if they're going to infringe during the infringement, then you need to just card the suckers. So, yeah, 21-3. It was an odd choice, but yeah, at least the Drua were on the board. What can I say? The crowd loved it. The Drua portion of the crowd. Some messy scrums. Eventually, Sione Havili was able to go from close range. Extend the lead 28-3. But then a good news one for the Drua, and maybe one of the loudest cheers of the night, was when this man, Ravuth Almada, was able to go over for a try. An intercept ball. Will Jordan with a bit of a stinker pass. Quinten Strange didn't really know anything about it. He was just kind of like, what are you passing it to me for? And it was like a real floaty ball. Pinched it. Easy as you like. Intercept try. So we go from 28-3 to 28-8. And Jeff Wilson, the commentator, drops the line. They're back in the game. Back in the game. Just 20 points down. Bro, they were not back in the game. That was an intercept try. I guess they've got to talk it up. But man, that was just nonsense. Halftime stats are 57-43 the possession. Territory 68-32 to the Crusaders. The Crusaders have knocked it on 11 times. If the Crusaders stop knocking it on so much, they're probably further ahead. The Drua have had to make like 83 tackles to the Crusaders 52. Yeah, it's a 20-point game at halftime. So just 3 scores, basically, to get even, the Drua. Second half, man, the route continues. Lio-Willie with a great carry. He offloads to Scotty Barrett for a try, 35-8. Will Jordan looks to have got one from a loose ball that's been dinked through, but that one gets chalked off for being in front of Leicester Fainga'anuku's little grubber kick. So it's 2 tries the Crusaders get chalked off. Blackadder comes on and then goes off bloody injured again. That guy is just, I don't know, injury prone. What can you say? He's made of glass or something. Man, I feel for him because he's a good player, but geez, he gets injured a lot. He had one run for, I want to say, like a year, 18 months where he wasn't injured, but I swear he spent more time injured than he's playing. I feel bad for him, but man. The Drua obviously chasing the game, running everything out their own half. I mean, they were able to generate, a few clean breaks and whatnot, but still, I mean, Gallagher went off as well for the Crusaders, so they went down to 14 men for the last 17 minutes because they brought all their subs on. Will Jordan managed to stretch out and get one to make it 42-8. And Grant Nisbet, again with the commentary gold, says that books their passage into the semi-finals, surely. Like, bro, yes. It's been booked for, like, basically the entire game. When it was 21-0 after 15 minutes, it was basically booked that the Crusaders were going to make the semi-finals. But anyway, Mo'unga went off on 70 minutes, looked more precautionary than anything, but Crusaders down another player. They still managed to score one through Willi Heinz at the end, which is nuts because he's only a halfback and he goes through about 3 players, but 49-8. It's a hiding. It's a big old hiding. Not a great look. I love the Drua. They are my favourite thing about Super Rugby this year. They're not a great away team, and the Crusaders are a phenomenal home team. So it was predicted to be a hiding, and the Drua sadly didn't have the answers for this one. It means the semi-final, the Crusaders will host on Friday next week the Blues, which is interesting because that's kind of a short turnaround. It's a 6-day turnaround for a Crusader side who had a number of guys go off not looking 100%. So the Blues, if they're going to go to Christchurch, maybe we'll face a less than full-strength Crusader side, but Crusaders down in Christchurch are going to be tough no matter what side they field. But still, we'll wait and see what side gets named later on. Next week, run meters finished 441 to 319, so it's not like the Drua weren't running it, but they only had 40% ball. The Crusaders had 60, and the Drua had 30% possession. Territory. They only kicked it 15 times. When you compare it to like the previous game, the Reds and the Chiefs, where each side kicked it 39 times. So 15 times is not a heck of a lot to be put in boot to ball. Turnovers conceded was 17-12, which is pretty high. Both sides dropped a fair bit of pill. So, as I said, the Crusaders left a couple of tries out there. Clean break 6-4 to the Crusaders. Defenders beaten 30-12 to the Crusaders. Ennor beats 5 defenders, a couple of clean breaks, which is more than he usually gets. Mo'unga beats 8 defenders, which is, man, that's just Richie Mo'unga to a T. He is Mr. Danger Man. Christie, 12 from 13 tackles. Also, that's him. That's just what he does. He tackles like a demon. Revolvo beats 4 defenders as a clean break. Murray on his, I think, Super Rugby debut had 14 out of 15 tackles. The flanker for the Drua, but yeah, ultimately a penalty and an intercept try for the Drua. And I mean, just look at the Crusaders try scorers, man. Prop, hooker, like 2 to the hooker, flanker, lock, and then a couple to the backs once the game was already well in bed. So yeah, we will see how the remaining quarterfinal goes between the Brumbies and the Canes to see who the Chiefs are playing, but we know for a fact it's going to be the Canes, the Crusaders and the Blues next Friday. You guys let us know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.